when you're campaigning for office, even when you're not campaigning for office, you will hear people talking about across the board, no matter where taxpayer dollars are spent, that there needs to be an accounting, some sort of evidence that it's returning the results that are expected.
I will start by saying that I think it's unconstitutional. It seems to me to be very clear that it is an effort to usurp the constitutionally directed power of the Superintendent of Public Instruction. The creation of this board, academic
Review board.
Review board, thank you.
You were having trouble with that before the show.
I was, ARB. The Academic Review Board is putting itself in the place of the state superintendent in terms of authorizing charters and making decisions about how tests are viewed and so on. But I need to back up and say that I am not one of those people who think public schools in Wisconsin are failing. I think public schools in Wisconsin are doing an excellent job.
But don't you need something to improve those schools if that's the concern?
Perhaps we do, but where is the evidence that conversion to a charter school is the solution? In fact, I have uncovered evidence that shows that charter schools in Wisconsin are not doing as well as public schools. So why would that be the remediation or the solution to the problem? In effect, we're creating a statewide school board. So if you get to that point, your locally elected school board no longer has authority. This board will take over. So if as a parent or a community member you have an issue about your school, you're going to have to go into Madison to talk to some of these 13 people to resolve that problem. And I think the party of local control is paying lip service to local control when they propose to do something this big in terms of usurping the power of the locally elected school board.
Your local board is going to continue to operate just as it always does. It's just that they are being told by the state, which has ultimate control over education. The state has ultimate control really over all municipal entities in the state, whether it be city or county or township or village. They ultimately have control over that, but they have allowed local control to exist, and I respect that. But there comes a time where your local control is not working, and steps need to be taken to make sure that it does work, and that's the responsibility of the state to do that. But as far as the money that Sandy just mentioned, what those charter schools are spending, and same thing goes for choice schools, is far less than what they're spending on the average student in a public school. And so by that student going to that school, even if it is the first draw, that's somewhere in the area of a $3,000 to $4,000 savings for the taxpayers for every one of those students that chooses to go to a school like that instead of to a regular public school.
But should that be the goal, I guess, is the number one goal is we're saving money by sending them to these schools?
No, the number one goal is giving parents the opportunity to choose which school works best for their student.
And I must say I disagree. If my numbers are correct, I was looking at this morning, the amount of money that we spend on a charter school in Milwaukee is more than the amount of money we send on the Milwaukee public school student. So, and to point out how drastic it is, if a school district or school gets turned into a charter, there is no pathway for it to go back to being a public school operated by an elected school board. There are pathways during all of this process for the charter schools to find a way back into the program. You know, they might have to wait 4 years or 3 years or prove that they're on some trajectory. But there is no such thing for the public school.
Is that accurate?
That is accurate, but I certainly would be willing to consider that.